Hey guys, Zul'jin here and welcome to Star Wars Galaxies. What am I doing playing this very old game? Oh, you know, letting the nostalgia flood my emotions. I've been playing this for the last day or so, and I can't stop. So I have to bring you guys into my world. Y'all know how I do. So Star Wars Galaxies is an old game. I think 1993 is around when it was popular, and it was run by Sony Online Entertainment, or SOE. I'm gonna go ahead and get started here. SOE stopped maintaining it, but now it's run by Community, which is called SWGEmu. Or EMU, or Star Wars Galaxies Emulator is what it stands for. And Star Wars Galaxies is an MMORPG. The thriving community on these servers have resurrected the game to its former glory, and I gotta tell you guys, outside of some bugs and stuff, this is so wonderfully done. I'm incredibly satisfied when I play it. I really wish there was a few more people, but at some times there's a ton of people, and it's it's still active. I mean, I see people running around all the time, even though there aren't that many here right now. But I could go to a couple hotspots and show you in the cantina. There's always people, and when I'm running adventuring, there's a field. So I'll tell you a little bit about my character. We can go into more detail if you guys want to hear more about the emulator setup, but I'll leave some links in the description below so that you can check it out yourself. This is my character. He's a Zabrak. I mainly when I used to play Star Wars Galaxies online, I loved the whole scout creature handler thing, and I used a carbine for my weapon. So that's what I'm using now. For those of you familiar with the setup, I'll kind of run through it. This is the skill menus, and you have a total amount of skill points that you can learn from all sorts of different professions. Right now I have scout, medic, and marksman, or the few that I'm going to, and you just go to a skill trainer and you can learn the basics, and then you just get experience by performing those activities. So right now I'm working on carbines, as well as some range support, to possibly go into Carbineer. I'm thinking I'm going to go into Carbineer at least for a while now. Why not rifles? Well, I kind of like the way carbines are for PvE. I really do like it. Yeah, rifles are better in PvP. I know that already. Trust me, if you're an old SWG vet, mostly what you're going to see is riflemen on the server too. What can I say? I'm different. And I am going to this right here, which you guys will probably know from from my love in Ark and in Ultima Online, that I really love taming and stuff. So and Pokemon naturally, but creature handler is the first calling that I ever had to taming, you guys, and I am not even to it yet, but that's why I'm in the scouts menu. So anyway, not to bore you too much, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, let me go ahead and get out my skill menu. The first thing that I want to do here is take on some missions for you guys. In order to do that effectively, I probably need to get buffed a little bit. So I'm gonna go. There's a couple of AFK players that are always running macros here in the medical center, as well as the this is the capital city, Theed, or one of the larger cities, which is Theed on Naboo. And there's always some guys doing stuff in here and buffing AFK. There's sophisticated macros you can run in the game and stuff like that, and that's basically what's going on here. You can see running AFK premium buff macros, send help of buffs, buffing 2565 for 3 hours and 35 minutes. So this guy, I've tipped him quite a bit so far, Smorgasbord. He is a master doctor, and he's basically doing all sorts of stat enhancements. So before I go out on missions, I usually hit these guys up. So let me go ahead and send him a tell SMORGA, sorry, ORGASBORD, and we'll just put buffs. So that basically sends him a private message, and his client is set to react to that. So basically what he's going to do is he's going to start a buffing process. He's going to bring out a little droid that helps him buff me, and you can see here that he's enhancing all of my stats. So I'll give you a little bit of background on what I've been doing so far. I've mainly been running missions and gathering up some stuff for, you know, scouting experience, so to speak. And I thought now would be a good time to show you the game, because the beginnings of it is really, really grindy. I'm not gonna lie. Compared to the MMOs that you might play today, it really is grindy, but it's a fun kind of grind, and for me, it's so nostalgic that I'm really having fun with it. So, and I'm really looking forward to getting the creature handling, because my cousin and I, Ronnie, used to go on these adventures and tame these creatures like rancors and stuff like that, and growls. And I would love to do some of that for y'all guys. So I might end up streaming this game a little bit, and I also might do some more videos on it, depending on how you guys receive it or like it. I imagine there's going to be sort of a cult following to this. So anyway, if you happen to play the game and you see this video and you see me in game, feel free to tell me hi. I'd like to make this a pretty social experience. So anyway, I think I'm almost finished getting buffs here, and I'll be able to run to the cantina, which I'll get some mind buffs for that. So you can see here my stats now right at the bottom of my screen. Yes, I run kind of a custom UI. Right at the bottom of my screen, you can see that my red bar is my life, my green bar is my action bar, and my blue bar is my mind, and that's actually really, really, really low in comparison to my other stats, but I might fix that up sooner or later. Let me go ahead and tip this guy, because he is so good to me. And I'm gonna do it from bank. It is a little surcharge with that, but I can tip him straight from the credits in my bank, and now we tipped him. So Star Wars Galaxies always had a player-generated economy, and there's some things that you just can't do on your own like that. So characters that choose to use their skill points in things like doctor and dancing and musicianship can buff other characters that kind of lends themselves to the economy, and that's how they make their money. There's a master creature handler. Oh, I envy you. So what happens is over time, people develop more characters. Usually those people that want to adventure. Some people are just good with crafting and making goods, but there's player housing and shops and all sorts of things that basically all contribute to a player-run economy, and it's really, really cool. Also, the music that you're hearing in the background, guys, is not Star Wars music. I really do apologize. The music in this game is absolutely mind-blowing nostalgic, but I can't use any of it. It's all copyright. Did I test it? Of course I tested it. I upload 2 3-minute videos just with a little bit of random game music playing in them, and they both got content ID matches on YouTube. So, all right. So these are the 2 dancers and musicians that I've been following here: Sugar Spice and Queen Beach. Queen Beach is really, really nice. I got to talk to her earlier when she was online. So let me go ahead and tell Queen Beach, invite, please. And she has an automated deal that's probably just going to invite me too. And you can see the group invite comes up. So these are all the people in the little musicianship group. And when you start listening to the musicianship, actually, what ends up happening is you hear the cantina music and stuff. But unfortunately, I have that off. But I can listen to her, and I can watch, and this is kind of like active skills here, and I'm just gonna take a seat here. All the emotes that you would expect in an MMO are still here, but I'll take you a moment to walk through the interface here now that we're doing something. So right here you can see that I'm gonna start to get buffs that enhance my statistics. And you can, when you start getting a little bit, look, there's her little automated message that talks about buffs here. So when you get enough time watching and listening here, you'll start getting buffs, and they all buff your statistics, just like the doctor buffed my action and my health. Dancers and musicians will buff your mind, or your mind assets. And I forgot the specific key to show me this. It's not that. No, that's light, although that does make it quite bright, doesn't it? Let's see. What was my, no, not a trade request. That's not what I want. I still don't know all the keys. There's so many different ones, too. I tell you what. Let me take a look at... I'm gonna remember it sooner or later. There it is. Oh man, so I customized some of my keys, but I haven't got all my key mapping down here. So you can see here, this is my statistics right now, and my statistics aren't nearly this high. These were buffed all like 2,000 plus from the doctors. So these are gonna get quite a bit of buffs as well, and you see them appear here after a little while. And what ends up happening is it just gives you a lot bigger pool to use from these, which certain skills take pools, and also damage is done to all of these pools. So one of the skill or the type of marksman that I am use carbines, and carbines have skills like this one, which is called leg shot. So I guess I can go to the actions right now to kind of show you how that goes. So leg shot, for instance, this ranged attack targets the enemy's legs in order to damage their action pool. So pistols damage health pool, rifles damage mind pool, and carbines damage action pool. Now you can see here that mind is probably the lowest attribute that most people have, and what ends up happening is riflemen turn out to be very, very, very OP because of this, because the buffs can be so much higher on doctors and stuff. But I think I have all that right. But at any rate, I should be getting some stat boosts really soon here. It usually takes a couple minutes, and I realize that I might have to speed this up via the magic of editing or something. But this is the good old cantina. Alright, you guys, so it took a little while, but I ended up getting the buff. Sometimes there's some bugs that happen to where it's like it doesn't do the buffs in time or whatever, but I just soft logged in and out and ended up going through again, and I think I'm gonna tip her before I leave. I almost forgot about that. So it's really, really important that let me do from bank. There we go. It's really, really important that you leave the group as well. Well, sometimes you might not want to leave the group, but it's really important that I leave the group, because the missions that I'm about to show you are harder based on the amount of people that are in your group. Look at this bantha over here. Awesome, man. Very, very awesome. So what I think I'm gonna do, that's a player, by the way. Look at all the players in the blue dots on the map at the top right of my screen. Those are all players and stuff, and it looks like this guy's got a couple of ATST walkers in a group. Really, really formidable if you're part of those factions or whatever. So anyway, I've got my buffs. Now I can kind of head out and show you guys what I'm doing. So I do have a couple of missions already, but I can show you a little bit on how to get the missions. Let me go to one of the... I know I'm probably making you dizzy here. These are bizarre missions. Let me go ahead and pull up my map and see. I'm really not familiar where stuff is. I know you guys are probably like, are you ever familiar where stuff is? No. Not really. Here we go. I tell you what, I might as well just pull out my my little speeder here. So I do have a speeder. It's kind of smoking right now, a swoop. I do need to repair it sooner or later, but for the most part, it is a lovely little bike. It takes me around. You start off with, I think it's a Land Cruiser? I forgot. That's like a Toyota vehicle, isn't it? I don't know. But you start off with, I could show it to you. It's something much more basic than this and slower. But I bought a speeder bike, a swoop from the bazaar. So these are the mission terminals, and you'll see this is what the mission terminal looks like. It'll bring up a few different places that you can try, and you can look at the different missions, what their payment is, and which direction they are and how far they are in those directions. So you can look at the mission, let's see, like this one. It's to take out the spice refiners. You can see that the difficulty level is 26, the reward for it, and all this stuff. So you kind of learn what you can take and what you can't take. At first, I was taking some really, really low-level missions, even after buffs, and now that I've gotten a little bit of experience and stuff, it gets a little bit better. There are a few different types of missions as well: explorer missions, artisan missions, entertainer missions, and you can get different sorts of help from there too. So pokes everyone in the ribs. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get on the speeder bike here and head out towards where we're going. So I particularly like Naboo to start on, even though Tatooine is a lovely place as well. It is nice going there for the music. They both have really, really good music. If I could, I really wish I could share it with you guys. But basically, they're both kind of starter planets. And there's a few other planets that are, I guess, mid-grade, and some very, very hard planets as well. That might come later, but I remember doing so many missions on Dathomir and with Sisters of Night and looking for Jedi holocron cubes, and oh man, there's so much nostalgia to this game. And so you'll start seeing some of the player housing really, really soon here as well. This is some of the local wildlife. Bola Ball. Yes, you can travel over water. You can swim. You can see there's my waypoint for one of my missions, and this is the place. This is the place right here. So I'm training Scout. There are a ton of different type of monsters and different factions. Well, not factions, but like enemy NPCs, like pirates and stuff. That I can fight, but I choose to try to fight right now is what I'm doing. I choose to try to fight Veermok here. I have a skill called Mask Scent, and what Mask Scent allows me to do is get close to aggressive tames without alerting them, or aggressive creatures without alerting them and making them attack me. Sort of like sneaking up on them. And it allows you to try to tame them. Well, I'm not ready to do any taming naturally. I don't even have the skills to be able to do that. But if I go over to my Scout, you can see that I do need these base skills moved all the way up so that I can go to the Creature Handler class. So to do that, I need scouting experience, and you get that in a variety of ways. One of the ways that I get them is by skinning animals. So that doesn't really help against those, and Mass Scent gives me. So you just basically need a bunch of scout experience, and to do that, you just get close to enemies that are red like this, that will aggro to you on sight, and use it. So it says your scent has been masked from creatures, and I'm getting scouting experience. So let me get a little bit closer and try to kind of get in the range of some other ones. This might turn out very bad. Okay, one Veermok saw me, no problem. All right, so let's go ahead and use some full auto here. So I have a few different skills that I've gotten from my specific Carbine skill tree. And you can see his life bar here right above him. See how the red went all the way down? So right now I'm using an ability called Full Auto. And Full Auto, and I just harvested him, by the way, and got a little bit. I'll explain that a little bit better when I'm not talking about something else. But so the red health bar on him is what I got. Now I have a couple of bars full of skills here at the bottom, but they basically all revolve around one thing. There are a bunch of different type of abilities that give you different types of damage and stuff. So Full Auto, a ranged attack, shoots multiple bolts at once at a single target. It's my strongest attack right now, but it doesn't target any specific bar. So it's possible when I use this I can hit their red bar, sometimes they're green, sometimes they're blue. Naturally, if it takes 2 hits on any bar to kill an enemy, and I go through all, I attack 3 times and it hits all 3 different bars, technically I have to use 4 attacks to kill an enemy. So this is not always the best shot. A lot of the times I'll switch to leg shot as soon as I hit their action bar, or sometimes I'll just use leg shot in the long run. And I have the second version of that, which does a little bit more damage. There's a few different other types, like there's a little AoE tag that's called point blank area. Basically when stuff gets around me, I can do damage like in a cone and stuff. Alright, so I got 84 scouting experience from skinning that thing. I'm gonna go ahead and mask my scent again and try to get a little bit closer. And you see how I'm getting all the scouting experience from getting around these things with my scent masks? That's what we want. Okay, so the mission here is basically to destroy this base. Now, this base will regenerate if I attack it, and these Veermoks notice me attacking it. If there's some spawned around, they'll heal it actively. So the easiest way to do this, there are other ways to do it, but the easiest way to do this is to eliminate all of the spawn to do that. Now you have to, there's a few different waves that you have. So let's go ahead and just start on this one, and I'll explain a little bit more as I go. I realize this video is probably going to be long as well, but I'd like it to be detailed so you know exactly what I'm doing. That way, if you're not familiar with Star Wars Galaxies, and I do end up doing new videos, and you do want to watch them, you'll kind of know what's going on and how I'm making my progress here. So it looks like I gave him a little status effect right there, blinding. See how I've been hitting all three different targets on here? So I finally just killed him. I brought down one of his, and you'll see the type of damage that I do as I hit him. But so now that I have a corpse down, you have a loot option, but there's usually no loot on any creatures. Loot is usually only on like NPCs and naturally other players. There is PvP in the game, so you can go to harvest resources here, and you have the option to harvest bone, hide, and meat. I have a macro set up that I can just hit my middle mouse button, and it just auto harvests for me and gets a random resource. And these resources can be taken a look at right here. You can examine them. They have different sorts of quality and quantity. I mean, different sorts of quality and different statistics that all help in specific crafts. And I'm not even going to pretend that I know a whole lot about this, but the great thing about SWG is it's so old that there's so many articles and pages and stuff dedicated to all the information you ever want to know about this, that the information is there if you ever interested in looking into the specifics and stuff. I'm not a real big crafter. I do a little bit of crafting, and I'll show you that here. I have a generic crafting tool, and because of my basic skills here, I know how to do a couple things. Because I have a beginning medic, that's basically only to heal my own wounds when I'm not around the bigger cities and stuff, and I'll explain that later. I did pick up some basic medic skill, but mostly what I'm using this for right now is a little bit of scouting type stuff. So I have a few different types of traps that I've been making, and they all do different things. So right now I'll just use one of the highest level traps that I know how to make here, which is the stink bomb. And basically it has the effect of making a target more vulnerable to status effects like stun or intimidate. So this requires some trap housings, which are made of bone units, and some musk, which is made from hide. So you can take some of your bone units that I've been harvesting, and you can take some of the hide units that I've been harvesting, and you can assemble. So it tells you can't go back. It shows you basically what's going to be like. The item assembly was a moderate success. So you can have excellent success naturally and all this other stuff. But they have specific serial numbers for it and the quantity that it gives you and all this sort of stuff. So we're going to go ahead next and go to create object. And yes. And it takes us a second. We got some wilderness survival experience. Let me go ahead and turn on the light here. We got some wilderness survival experience, and in a couple seconds we'll get the stink bombs. So let's see here. I'm gonna pull out my inventory here, and it says that the stink bombs have been placed in my inventory. There they are, they populated. So let me go ahead and drag that in one of my slots here. Plus you can hit shift and a slot number. It's 1 through 0 and then dash and then equals. But if you hit shift, it'll use the bottom one. Anyway, I have a few traps here, so now I can use it, and I'll get some trapping experience if I do use that. So my hotkey is 0 for this. I'll get close to this thing. Let me just use my my mass scent right quick for a little bit of extra XP. And now I'll throw, oh, I was gonna throw the trap at him when I got a little bit closer. Now I'm gonna throw the trap at him. There we go. So it trapped him. All right. So it, did it work? Don't tell me I DC'd. Yeah, I DC'd. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to troubleshoot here. If you play SWGEmu and you know what's going on with the frequent disconnects, or if there's a way around it, please let me know. I've been researching it quite a bit here. So let me just go ahead and soft disconnect really quick. Oh, man. There we go. So apparently that was a soft, so I was still kind of there. Let me just go ahead and loot this guy, and I'll show you all on the next one. All right. So where were we? Trapping? Let's trap him. Alright, the trap failed to affect the target, but he did notice me. Alright, let's use full auto on him. So you see how I got a leg hit in? So I could have used a leg shot to finish off that bar, kind of to target that bar. Anyway, we'll just harvest that. So now, we're out of the Wehrmacht sentries, and we can target the base and start shooting it now. So, also, when there's no more spawns left, this thing will do a lot. I'll do a lot more damage to the spawner itself. But I have a peace command here, and as soon as I see the Wehrmachts respawn because I'm harassing their nest, they will spawn after a little while. I'm just going to peace really quick so that I don't alert all of them. Because basically, when you attack a nest and you've got any spawn around, they'll gang up on you, and fighting 6 of them at once can be a little bit intimidating. It's not undoable. It depends what level it is. Okay, it looks like I wasn't fast enough. Alright, you see how they all coming around me? So I do have some attacks that I can possibly do group damage. So I'm hitting all of them right now. I keep spamming my my area of effect damage, and it looks like I'm a lot stronger than they were. Good deal. Okay, let me harvest all these guys. This is gonna be a lot of experience for oh no, don't tell me. Oh wait, I got a piece. That's why. There we go. This is gonna be a lot of scouting experience. I couldn't figure out. I got lost for a second there. I was like, why can't I harvest these guys? Because I used I originally attacked the nest, and while you're in combat, you can't really tell. And because I'm not playing the music, it didn't cue me. But combat music usually cues up, so I would have known if I wouldn't have been. Now you see how I'm doing like 1,100 points of damage now. You start doing a lot more damage when there's no more enemies for it. So anyway, this is essentially what a destroy mission is all about. There are many different other types of missions and different types of spawns, but this is essentially what you do when you do a mission like this. And you get experience points for your weapons by killing stuff. You get credits that get added to your bank account when you complete a mission. And you can just see that I qualify for range support skill 3. So let me open that up, and you can see that I'll go over to marksman, and it looks as though range support just leveled up, and you can see that right here. Like I have 6,059 experience out of 6,000 experience. Now other players can teach you these skills for free. Well, normally people tip each other when they do that, or you can go to a skill trainer and actually learn it. But I'm very, very close with this Carbine's weapon skill as well. I only have 4,000 points or so left to get. And my scout is coming up there quite a bit too. So I have a feeling in a couple of in a day or so I'm gonna be ready. Naturally, the experience requirements get much higher here. See, 9,300 out of 15,000. But when you start getting into the later professions, look at this. 140,000 points of creature handling experience. So it starts getting really high up there when you start getting into Carbineer. You can see here too, like 450,000 experience. Now naturally, the stronger the harder the missions, the more experience you get. You know, and just like the more difficult the enemy is that you harvest, you get more scouting experience for it. So it kind of scales. So it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and do one more. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do. I already showed you guys crafting. Let me go ahead, and it's gonna rain a little bit. Let's go ahead and generate the vehicle. So in town, you generate vehicles immediately. Out in the wild, it takes about 15 seconds to do that. And I'll show you possibly some different types of enemies. And actually, you know what? I'm going to run by some player housing to kind of show you how it is. Players that get together, that band together, can also form towns. And that's mostly what you'll see right here. And the cool thing about player towns is it's not just an idea. It's actually a thing. So I'll take a look at the map here and show you. Actually, it's V. So this is the map. And you'll see right here, Theed. My marker is covering it or whatever, but it looks like just like one of these, okay? And Theed is its own city. Well, FTC headquarters is not part of the Star Wars universe. It's not a city that was on the map, but players have put together a city for it, and now it's its own thing. You get all kind of perks to travel between cities, like instantaneous travel. They have shuttle ports and starports, and when cities have the right population, I guess, or the right things in place, you can get things like those perks, like starports and stuff. You can actually get these to build those things. So it's relatively cool. Not to mention that there's all sorts of independent shops and stuff that you can find here. You can search for specific items and vendors and travel to them and buy that merchandise. Let's say I'm looking for a certain kind of carbine weapon that isn't available in the general market. Maybe there's a guild that does great carbine crafting, you know. So I can run to those, and you know, maybe they have rare elements, and it's just a great carbine that I have enough money for. Those are one of those things, you know, that you just won't find in the general bazaar. Okay, so let me get off this speeder bike and show you this right quick too. So this is, we'll get out the rain for a moment. This is just a general house, or well, not a general house, it's a pretty big one. There's some harvesters here that people use for harvesting resources while they're offline, and all sorts of other stuff. So let me go in here, and you'll see that this is one of the players' houses. I'm not familiar with this layout at all. This doesn't have a whole lot of furniture, and it looks like we chose kind of the wrong the wrong house. There's plenty of stuff in it. Okay, maybe we just went the wrong way for it. There's a lot of bedrooms here, a lot. Let me go outside and show you something else. We'll go in Tessel's house. I don't know who these people are, by the way. So if these are your houses, I don't mean to disrespect or say anything stupid. All right. Let's go in here, and I can show you a little bit about it instead of just doing another mission, because you'll probably see that many times in the videos that I may or may not do, or pretty much any videos that. Wow, that's a Rancor statue. So as a creature handler, you can tame these things. Oh, I know, and they are so strong too. But you can see here, there's some decorations and stuff. Tusken Raiders robes. You can decorate your house. You can buy and collect stuff like this, and also craft. You saw how barren the other house was in comparison to this one. There's all sorts of stuff set up here, different lighting and all sorts of things. You can set up merchants that, you know, people can come by and buy your stuff. It's just really cool how they have it all set up. But let's see, there's an elevator to go up to different floors. That's really awesome. Okay, let's get out of here. I think, yeah, my speeder's still across the way. And I'm not gonna do the whole mission with you, but I will ride out to the next mission just to show you what it is. Let's get on my speeder bike. So you can store your speeder bike at any time and pick up different vehicles and store them as well, and you can visit garages to repair them. Each time you take out your speeder, you actually get a little bit of damage on it. It's kind of like durability, wear and tear, so to speak. So every once in a while you have to fix them. But it looks like my waypoint just updated and we are here. So this is my next mission here. Let's go ahead and store this. So you'll see that these are Caddo. And you can tell, like, based on their difficulty, it used to be a little bit more accurate. Because of buffs and stuff, it kind of throws it off. But you can see that this Caddo has a red con, which means typically if I wasn't buffed, they could probably kill me based on my skill level and stuff like that. But it's basically the same principle. I have to destroy their base in order to get my credits and stuff. So I typically just start by attacking them and doing the dang thing. And the Caddo should go down. So you get 292 points of carbine experience, 29 combat experience, and I got a little bit more stuff right there. So I think I'm gonna finish this out right here, you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed what I'm quickly becoming addicted to all over again, and I hope it was pretty cool. If you do watch this video and you're a Star Wars Galaxies fan, tell me maybe some stuff that you want to see later on, or anything that you want me to explain, and I'll be glad to kind of go over it. And if you're new to the Star Wars fan, I encourage you to check, if you like what you see but you never played or you'd like to play, check the links below. You have to have your own discs, but they're relatively cheap on the internet to buy. I still had my old school, scratched as hell, but I still had my old 3-disc from my original disc that I had with the game from years ago. My cousin and I both had them, along with my old Ultima Online CDs and all that crap. So, anyway, nostalgia. Anyway, you guys, thanks so much for watching. This is Zuljan signing off, and we'll see you next time.